Thanks for the follow. I think just sent that as I was.
Is your client still in jail?
No. He did eventually plead guilty, I guess, when he realized that the GTA charge was not going to be included. So he's no longer being held, to my understanding.
Hmm.
I think I finally got a chance to help him see how things worked out in his favor. Actually, just by, you know, not continuing down his course of action. But
Yeah. That's good. It's half job.
what muscle is that one that uses the laptop?
It's just gotta test out your typing.
Ah, thank you.
I'll give him
Nice.
another 5-10 minutes here. If he's not here, I'm gonna have to head on home.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm send an email real quick.
I say this in jest, but whatever was to happen if the judges leave his own trial? I'm just kidding. I kid.
The judge is what?
If the judge is not arriving, I mean, there's always such harsh language in the failure to appear. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No recourse.
All right. Does your client having issues with his bus pass?
Yes, my client's going to be probably not able to attend, but as long as His Honor doesn't have any issue with our agreement, I have the monies to go ahead and take care of all that.
I presume you guys need me?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hello? Raymond, question mark?
So this would have been in regards to Fabio, people versus Fabio James.
Alright, do you want to start this and then I presume you, Mr. Taps, you have the plea for both charges?
Yes, Your Honor, the assistant district attorney and myself were able to meet and believe we have an acceptable plea bargain.
Alright, let's just do the arraignment quick and then we'll bring that up. Just to be on record.
Very good.
Just give me a moment while I pull up the case file.
At your pleasure, Your Honor.
Alright, let's get started. Alright, Mr. Taps, Mr. Powers, we're now on record for the people of Fabio James. It's going to be the arraignment hearing. Prosecution, can you please present a list of charges you're filing against the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. One count of 18 USC 922G1 felon in possession of a firearm. One count PC 16590 possession of a prohibited weapon. And then one count of Health and Safety Code 1135 B14 possession of methamphetamine with intent to supply.
Okay. Mr. Taps, are you ready to enter the plea on behalf of your client?
Yes, at this time, my client would like to plead no contest to those charges in exchange for time served and a $6,000 fine.
Okay, and what's the people's rebuttal to that?
There were people who request no less than $8,000 fine, $8,000 fine. I believe as discussed for emails, Mr. Taps.
Let me just check. I thought the original mention in your filing was 6, but that could just be my misinterpretation. 1 second. I believe there was a bit of a... Oh, no. Yep, it is 8,000. I'm still prepared. My client's still prepared to pay that. Not a problem. Sorry, I could have got my fingers crossed.
Okay. So the people, you're okay with time served in recognition of the $8,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor. The total time and fine for these charges would be 55 months. Mr. Tapp's client, Mr. James, has served well over triple of that, if not more, during his incarceration waiting his arraignment hearing. People are satisfied with time served.
All right, duly noted. The court has no objections to said plea. I'm going to accept that plea. He's going to be able to serve as per time 0 months and an $8,000 fine. Case now closed. I will order the immediate release of Fabio James.
Thank you, Yana.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, District Attorney, Assistant District Attorney.
You're welcome.
We have anything next on the calendar we got to take care of?
I have a few items that I would love to discuss with you, Your Honor, if you are so inclined, at your leisure.
Approach the bench. Is this something that the district attorney needs to hear?
No, this is just all civil in nature, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Go ahead. Thank you.
And I'll have my client then get with a deputy or a law enforcement officer to have that booking in charge then. Is that acceptable, or do you want payment now, Yana?
I'm sorry?
For Mr. James, do you want payment now, or do you want him to just speak with a law enforcement officer?
We can't pay the ticket, can he? He's not here.
I have his money here now. I'm just wondering if he's currently on the train, so.
Okay. If you have the money in regards to that, yeah, we'll take the money.
Okay. I will pay you in your number, sir.
148.
There you go, Your Honor. The next matter that I'd like to speak to you about is my petition for expungement of one David Tyndall.
Okay. Well, just tell me all the expenses.
I've got 2 expungements on record, David Tyndall and a Damian Sasaski. And then my last matter will be a business proposal.
All right, before we get into this, gentlemen, can you approach the bench? Just so you guys can see we get it if we need it. With the mask, you can take our mask as well, please.
No, it was me. I had a mask.
I must be tripping. Excuse me. So, good day, Your Honor.
Hello.
So I have a friend here who would like move with me. I was wondering if I could have your assistance in gaining entry into having a doorway for him.
We don't do doors anymore.
What?
I have contact with the state agent.
Okay.
Yeah, this is coming.
Mr. Taps, can you approach the
Yes,
bench for a second?
I absolutely can. Your Honor.
Oh, sorry, wrong person. Mr. Powers, can you approach the bench?
Yes, sir.
On your latest case, the Senator's from Justice seeking no less than 75 months and a $22,000 fine. Note that the full-time fine of the aforementioned charge is 7 months of the $25,000 fine.
Yes, sir.
So you're seeking more than the maximum amount of time?
Let me pull it up.
Ooh, that reminds me. And yes, I think there's one other thing to speak with you while Mr. Powers is here, and I'll bring that up here when you're done.
All right. These record expungements, in the future, can you just try to leave it on the post? I don't have to
Yes, I'm sorry, y'all.
download this PDF.
Understandable.
That was a typo, Your Honor. I apologize.
That's okay.
It's just hard to convert my pretty format into that side, but I understand your point.
So it reflects now 70 months and a $22,000 fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're seeking the maximum amount of time and you're receiving the less fine?
Correct, sir.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. You can speak with Mr. Capsule doing your expungements.
Okay.
I just figured if you wanted to be around when I spoke to His Honor about Mr. Goodness gracious, I always call him Ignacio, but I forget his last
Mr.
name.
Villarreal.
Yes, Villarreal.
Mm-hmm.
With that finalization.
Sure.
That way we're all together on it, you know.
Yeah,
All right. Speak your piece.
So this would be in the matter of the charges filed recently against Mr. Varelius. And after talking with the assistant district attorney, this gentleman was actually fined $300,000 pursuant to speaking with the district attorney's office about his charges. Ultimately, the charges the district attorney filed did not include any drug charges. And so I'm asking the court for a reduction in this man's fines that he has already paid to be subsequent to the amount that would be equal to the charges filed by the Honorable District Attorney.
Okay, so you're saying that he got a $300,000 fine, but he wasn't charged with any drug-related charges?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you read me all the charges?
Let me pull them up now, unless the District Attorney has them handy. 1 second.
I'm looking for them as well.
That would be 1 count PC 2045 assault with a deadly, 1 count 207 kidnapping, and 1 count 211A second degree robbery, to which the assistant district attorney was offering a fine of $8,000, I believe, for Mr. Viral for those charges. Is that correct? Sound about right?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he not get rebooked right after that to fix the drug-related charge?
I'm aware of that.
No, sir, not to my knowledge, and I am aware that his money was all taken. That $300,000 is no longer in his account.
Let me just finish off these expungements.
Very good, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, like this paperwork with the Google Docs, that's fine. It's the other ones.
Okay, so you're okay with the link then, because that's much easier from my perspective. Thank you. And I can keep it pretty.
Well, your concern is this one client, he has a lot of charges.
Yes, I saw that. But he's been on the straight and narrow. It looks like he's really trying to change his life around, which I always try to encourage my clients that there's better ways to make a living.
Right.
And Your Honor, I do believe I emailed you earlier this afternoon on the on this other topic that we're discussing about Mr. Villarreal. I cannot say his name for the life of me. Thanks, Dr. Luca, for the follow. I don't have my snazzy camera on right now, but you know, hey. I can also pay His Honor for the fines for those expungements if you wish.
$7,000 now.
He will owe 7,000. Yes, that would be tickets and charges.
Okay. All the expenses have been taken care of.
I believe that would leave you with a balance between the two of 7,250. Is that correct?
Yep.
Let me give you that money now. What was your number again, Yana? Sorry.
113.
There's that payment, Yana.
Thank you. Sir, how can I help you?
Oh, can I have my license back, please? My driver's license.
Can I see your ID?
Yes.
Here you go.
Almost clean for a week, and that's a big accomplishment for me.
Oh, you have a long history.
Yes.
If you do an hour and 30 minutes of community service, come back and we'll give you a license back.
What? An hour? That's a lot of minutes, you know?
And that is.
You know how many seconds that is?
Can I offer you, sir? Can I give you some free advice, sir? Just totally
Me?
free. Yes.
What's up?
I wouldn't argue with His Honor. Just say thank you and go do your time. It could go very badly. Yeah, but I would recommend not conversating that way. You could find yourself in a bad pickle.
Okay, you said an hour and 30 minutes?
Yep. And make sure a medic is with you that sees that.
Well, I mean, thing is, I'm probably just gonna lose my license the next day, so I mean, it's kind of drive illegal anyways.
Okay.
Alright, well, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I think my head hurts.
Wow, I think he has an open court case pending.
Yeah,
Does he?
He does.
my brain hurts, Yana. Goodness gracious.
I can hear myself whenever you speak for some reason.
Let me see if I can fix that. I apologize.
It's okay.
I bet it's resolved now.
Speak.
I am speaking, Yana.
Hello?
Is it
Alright, great.
stopped now? Good. Sorry about that. Thank you for telling me.
It's okay. So what were we discussing before?
If you check the email that I sent you earlier this morning, this is in regards to Mr. Inglacio. Villarreal, thank you.
Oh, right, Ignacio. Okay, so he got a $300,000 ticket.
Yes.
I'll take care of that in a second. All right, let's see. I'm gonna check because I am almost positive he was rebooked right after because I've spoken to you about that. Okay, yeah, Ignacio. So he was charged with PC 245, PC 211A, PC 16590, HS 11351B, and HS 11392. So what's your question? I'm confused.
The question is after speaking with the DA about this case in council, that those other additional charges were not actually levied by the district attorney's office. Now, if I need to go forward and appeal and press this case based on the conditions that I spoke with the assistant district attorney, if the state is going to proceed with those charges after all, then I would draw my request and request that we go to hearing.
Your Honor, if I may, I've talked to Mr. Taps about this. So as I understood from all the information that I gathered when I spoke to members of the sheriff's office, there was a search warrant signed by Judge Middleton, but there was no actual affidavit given to Judge Middleton. It was all verbal, which is not legal. Chapter 3 of California State Code 1523 and through 1542 state that a written affidavit must be submitted for sworn testimony for review of an arrest or a search warrant of a person's property or person. And that was not submitted to the court system.
Okay. What would you say was the code again?
Chapter 3.
Okay.
It's in Special Proceedings of Criminal Nature under search warrants, 1523 through 1542.5.
And I presume you have your reference to that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Thank you. Oh, okay, never mind. What was the sections?
So 1524 is where it starts.
1524 to 1524.3, you said?
Yeah, I've got it actually in a little probably better format than what you might be seeing. Let me just try and find the bullet point, which number it is.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna become a DA or not, or an ADA or what. We'll see. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Welcome to the stream, everybody. This is my legal character, Travis Taps, the fine Southern gentleman.
All right, what's the bulletin point?
I'm looking for it right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, so I found it actually. I'm going to send you the actual sublink for this. It's in bold and in blue. But a search warrant is an order in writing with the name of the people, signed by a magistrate, directed to a peace officer commanding him or her to search a person's property, things, or personal property in the case of a thing or things with personal property and bring the same before the magistrate. It goes through on 1524 when a search warrant may be executed. And then for the, I believe it's 19, no.
I need to see where you're saying.
Sure, yeah, I understand. I had it the other night, and I have since closed out of my web browser on my phone, and when I open it up, I have to do a new search for it.
I presume it isn't written as an affidavit on this.
Okay, so I stand corrected, Your Honor. Let me go through here and read through it. It's actually through the California State Supreme Court, which says that a affidavit may be written or oral and presented in person, via the telephone, by fax, or even mail. They must also contain the facts that establish the grounds for application or the probable cause for believing that they exist. I'm going to send that over to you in just a moment. And the code is actually 1527.
See, what I wonder is was this warrant like, hey, this guy had a gun, you know, I need a search warrant ASAP to search his house, or if this was like sit down.
At this time, the district attorney's office, even though requesting via email has not been provided with any said report or documentation of such, I did understand that there is body video from the Sheriff Shaw in regards to the incident, but I have not been provided with that yet. But just the fact that this lacks a police report in general is very odd for the amount of hoops they jumped through to get where they got. So
Yeah, no,
it's just hard for me to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law.
if the search warrant was validated.
And I think that, yeah, I mean, Your Honor, I know that the tsunami was pressing them really quick, but I mean, with the nature of the charges that they were originally arrested for, none of which were drug related either, I would just simply take into consideration that it was a bit of a jump there to go straight to search of a premises for narcotics when no vehicles, the vehicles and the persons didn't have any of that involved, nor were the charges related to narcotics in any way.
See, I understand your point there, Mr. Camps, but the thing is regardless if they see something, you know, regardless if the weed wasn't in the warrant or not, they still could have took it as it's an illegal item, and you know they can take illegal items regardless if it's in the search
Yes.
warrant or not. And it's kind of hard to, you know, to mitigate, you know, like it's essentially hard to mitigate the difference between this and mainland, because mainland, like if you have a search warrant for guns, you're not going to search, you know, jewelry boxes, you know. Like I said, it's hard to mitigate that, and there's something that we have to do to combat that so it doesn't happen. But
I understand your position. Just in this case, especially as that was done on pursuant of the execution of the arrest for the things that they were arrested for. None of which, by the way, they are pleading. They're not going against, nor are they pressing against the warrants to search of the weapons or for weapons. Even though I would argue that's even a bit of stretch given the nature of those arrests. I don't understand where the premise came from to even include drugs in the search. Now, certainly you're right. If they found the drugs going there, okay, that's fine, but it's a bit of a stretch.
I completely understand that, and I also agree. And I spoke to Mr. Middleton in regards to the situation. He just stated how he was bombarded with it, and it was kind of somewhat instant per se. For example, I know Mr. Shaw was requesting it, and he wouldn't get off Middleton, and it was rushed because of tsunami. And yes, I understand that shouldn't happen, but it did. So we'll do our best to combat that so it doesn't happen again. But as for this current situation, what are we looking to get out of this?
I would simply ask that my client be charged with the fines that was subsequent to his charges that the assistant district attorney here left, which I think was a total of I think it was in the email. Was it 8,600?
Let me check.
Yes, I believe it was 88,000. I think was the amount subsequent to the fines that the assistant district attorney was asking for in the case or in the charges, which would be subtracted from the 300,000 already paid by my client, which would be a difference owed to him of $292,000.
Well, yeah, that is correct. $8,000 was the correct amount, and then for Mr. McGraw, it would just be that would be his fine, since he's already
Yes.
served well over the amount of time required for those 3 charges.
So you want him to be reimbursed $280,000?
292,000, sir.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm not saying that he is that. As far as the fine goes, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Judge. The fine seems very exorbitant. I've seen a fine that in that state in a very long time, if ever. During my time here, I've looked through past cases where people have been found with, class 3 weapons and, up to 20 different charges, and the fine doesn't even get anywhere near $150,000.
How much was the fine? It was 300,000.
He was fined 300,000. Mr. Villarreal was.
Okay, so what's the district attorney's office requesting to pursue in regards to the new fine for him to get reimbursed?
Well, for the possession of the marijuana, again, I have no evidence to proceed for a suppression hearing. I have not been provided a case report. I have not been provided any body cam video, which I need time to prepare if this would be there. I mean, if I have to get with the sheriff's office to request that information.
Out of curiosity, why would you want a suppression hearing?
I assume that's what Mr. Taps would do, as
Yes,
our conversation was
Oh,
last
okay.
night.
Correct.
Okay.
And it'd be based on some of the things that I spoke to you on, Judge, but there was also other details that the assistant district attorney and I have discussed that also led us to that conclusion collectively.
I mean, I'm not doubting that there wasn't that amount of drugs or narcotics there. It's just how did they get there? I have nothing in hand to be able to explain to the courts on how they got to where they got, based off of a robbery, a class 2 or 3 possession charge. Yeah, I don't know if there was anything said. I've been verbally told that something's been said, but I've not seen anything in writing or any sworn affidavit or report. And I've seen nothing on body camera because I've not been provided any body camera. And this is 4 or 5 days now since.
Yes, and it is. You did ask for all that material as well with a due date, correct?
I did.
To our understanding, yes.
I asked with the due date for noon as of yesterday and was not provided anything. If you'd like, Judge, we can schedule a continuance for today, or I can request one if you'd be so kind to do so. So that way I can reach out again and see what information, if there's anything new. Because just as it stands right now, I have little to no evidence to be able to argue this in a suppression hearing or in any sort of arraignment or plea hearing or open court trial.
Okay. How long are you requesting for your continuance?
See, what's today? Thursday, the 23rd. I would say 48 hours.
Okay. And what was the initial plea in regards to all the charges?
Well, with nothing in hand, I agreed with Mr. Taps that we would charge his clients with the original 3 charges and forego the drug charges since there's nothing in hand.
And my clients agreed not to press anything else, plead no contest to those charges, pay the subsequent related fines, and certainly would not pursue anything further as to the loss of the things that were seized from their premises of the illegal nature, and be done.
Okay, my only concern with you requesting a continuance is this isn't actually posted anywhere on the government site. Before we start requesting and doing motions to suppress and all that, I'd rather it be posted on the government site somewhere, so if we do need to result in contacting, it can be through the government site. So is it a possibility of either the district attorney's office or Mr. Taps to file an appeal or a trial request?
Well, I think, Your Honor, if I may be so...
trial, or are you just looking to get reimbursed?
It's just the reimbursement, which again, through the conversation of the ADA and myself, if we can reach that agreement, then we don't need to go any further. I think we can be done. Now, if we can't have that agreement.
What's the agreement you both agreed on?
for the district, and Mr. Powell's correct me if I'm wrong, but he after the due date had passed and he had given them deal, we agreed that they would to the 3 charges that were assessed and the $8,000 fine for Mr. Valerio. He said that there had already been some discussion with the DOJ in regards to the fine being very high, and that they had already discussed lowering that fine by 150,000, but suggested that we needed to get in front of you, Your Honor, in order to request any further reduction from the 150 to be subsequent to the charges actually filed by the DA's office, and then would be accepted by my clients.
Okay, so just to reiterate, there's no time that's going to be served here. You're simply looking to be reimbursed for the hefty amount of
The time
fine.
has already been served, actually.
I
Both of my clients
I understand
were
that.
held, yes.
What I'm asking is what is yourself and the district attorney agreeing upon in regards to him being reimbursed for said fine? So how much have you and him both agreed to?
So we agreed as everything that Mr. Taps had said. As far as the money that he was charged and fined, I believe that's on the Department of Justice or the Blaine County Sheriff's Office in regards to trying to reimburse his client. Now, if I do have a continuance, I can get it together, a docket hearing, and I assume this is going to go all the way to trial, which I'm fine to do. I just need to make sure I have something in hand to argue with besides, the charge listing and the charge sheet.
Okay, so essentially, Mr. Powers, you're incumbent upon requesting a continuance, and then depending on the outcome of the motion to suppress, we're going to proceed with the trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any objections to that, Mr. Temps? Because from what I'm understanding is he doesn't want to necessarily just reimburse you for the fine. He wants to let this play out and see
Well,
where it goes.
then let's see this, if I may. What would be your opinion, Mr. District Attorney, as far as what you think would be a fair fine for Mr. Mr. Villarreal, seeing that my other client, Mr. McGraw, in the same situation with the same charges, will only be fined $85 or the $8,000. What do you think would be fair compensation then, or a reduction on $300,000? Just your opinion. Yep. If you would indulge me, Your Honor, I apologize. What? I'm not. Last time I saw it was
Sorry,
in
I'm
your
trying to
room.
locate exactly what was taken from his house.
I believe, allegedly well, it's not allegedly. It should be on record somewhere, though I have not seen that record. It was around 852 bundles, which is about 1,200 less bundles than were removed from Mr. McGraw's house.
Okay, let me just calculate the fine real quick. You said 850?
Yeah, I think it was 850, 852, somewhere in there.
So that fine would have been $170,000 for 850, not including the weapons. I mean, I would assume anywhere from $125,000 to $250,000.
Is what you're reimbursing or what he should have been fined?
What I feel he should have been fined.
And that's that is if you, and that is saying that you would under the situation you would proceed with charging him with the drug charges, correct?
Well, I mean,
Well, he was charged
technically
with
he
the drug
has been charged
charges.
with the drug charges.
Pardon me, I'm sorry, both of you talking. I couldn't hear you.
So he has been charged with the drug charges, I guess what Judge is trying to explain to both of us. So we need to either get back with your clients and see what their number is, or we need to basically set a continuance so we can argue this in court.
I know a number, and so if it is behooving to the court, if Mr. Villarreal's fines are no more than $120,000, and the court is happy with that, and the state is happy with that, I think we can have this done and not waste any more of the city's time and resources. Which,
let me write this down.
which, given that Mr. McGraw is at this time not receiving any drug charges, uh, and that they were both involved in the same thing, the same evidence was collected, they were together, I think that that's
Uh,
a fair middle ground.
I think that before the district attorney officially decides on that, he has to rebuttal with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, because that's a large, hefty sum that I'm unsure if we're going to pay that back or if they're going to pay that back, because
Understood.
yeah, that's something we'll have to discuss. And I have a feeling that the moment he talks to, Mr. Shaw, he's going to say, nope, I'm not giving 180,000. Let's just take this to court. So I don't know your opinion on that, Mr. Powers, but
Understood. Yeah, let's do that then. If I could please have that 48 hours for continuance, so I can prepare and see what else we have, and,
okay,
and go
I'll give
from
you
there.
48 hours. Within the 48-hour timeline, if by the end of the 48 hours you could have that case posted, and then we'll go through all the tedious hearings.
Okay, will do, sir. I'll put it on my calendar right now. Alrighty.
Any problem with that, Mr. Tamps?
No, sir.
And if within the 48 hours he decides that he should be reimbursed, then you guys can decide that. I don't know if I feel comfortable giving, you $180,000 out of the state fund,
I understand.
solely because you guys want to agree upon a plea deal. I mean, that's something the Blaine County Sheriff's Office would have to agree upon as well.
Understood.
Okay.
And I think, I guess the biggest part here, Mr. District Attorney, would be if in that, during the course of that 48 hours, you do decide to proceed with the drug charges different than what we had already discussed, that would be information I'd like to know, because I think I will be moving forward as we discussed before prior. So
Yeah, no, understood.
Okay, so if he decides to proceed with the charges, so that means you're not going to be reimbursed
correct.
any of the fine, then he will post a case file on the government site. And if you guys decide upon something, BCSO doesn't want to pursue with that anymore, then you guys can speak about it amongst yourself and just let me know.
Okay.
Just
Thank you, Jan.
like I
That's
said, I don't know
reasonable.
if I'm going to give you $180,000 of our state fund because
Yep.
the BCSO wants to settle on a plea deal.
Right. I totally
Understood.
understand. Thank you, Jan.
Okay, I will get this written up in the morning, and then see what I can do about getting somebody at the sheriff's office on the horn.
All right, wonderful. And Mr. Taps, if
Yes.
you are going to go through doing all these suppress hearings, ensure that you don't do it during the trial. Yeah, you're going to have your chance during the preliminary hearing and the pre-trial. Make sure those hearings are submitted so we can have those suppression hearings and the continuance. All those hearings, we can have those before the preliminary or after the preliminary starts.
Of course, Yana. I don't want to file things until we understand how the DA's office wants to proceed. So
All right.
All right, any more questions?
not on
No,
this
sir.
topic.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
You're welcome.
And then, Yana, the last thing that I have to discuss is a business proposal submitted by myself on behalf of the Life Invader Sandy Shores business.
You're
It's
trying to
quite
run an insurance company?
not me, the individuals I represent.
Okay, and which business is that going to be? You never put a picture of the building.
It should be in the actual, if you open the Google document that has the business proposal in it, there should be pictures towards the bottom part of that document.
No pictures.
Oh, let me double check, Yana. Sorry.
The business proposal or the partnership agreement?
The business proposal.
Yeah, I don't
The
see any
first link.
pictures in here.
Let me look one more time. 1 second.
This is gonna be interesting. I'm not sure if you can rent the Life Invader building or own it.
No. This is to be opening another Life Invader north of town in Sandy Shores,
Oh.
not the purchase of the other one.
Okay, but your clients do understand that they won't make any money from the Life Invader, right?
That's correct. Not that one. That was just from the business that they'd be opening.
I don't know. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. So you want to open another Life Invader, right?
They want to open a vehicle insurance company like the Life Invader up north.
Okay, so yeah, I understand that. So how is the insurance company going to be ran? Is that going to be like, yeah, how's that going to work?
The way that they had discussed prior to engaging my services with the state is that the individuals who would be making claims there, the percentage of those claims would go to the state, and then a percentage of the remainder would go to the business owner.
Okay, so my question for you is, are you planning on having people working there, or you want it to be like another Life Invader?
No, there will be an individual there working, I believe, or running the business. As to the mechanics of it, of the city, I think that's something they are working out with the city and Glory Hole, etc.
Okay, because I'd like to have Glory Holes reach out to us so I can fully understand what the plan
Sure,
is.
sure. Yep. I can do that for sure. And the pictures are actually, I mistakenly put them in the partnership agreement, not in the business. I apologize.
It's okay.
Jackson, I'm gonna be there in just a minute. It's a lot to review, Your Honor. I mean, if you want to look at this later and provide some judgment, I don't want to take up all your time.
That's okay. There's no one here, so I don't mind reading it.
Very good. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's quite a bit of information. What's up, dude? What do you need help with?
I'll be right back.
Deputy, can you inform His Honor that I had to step away for just a minute? He comes back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ooh, okay. All right. So let me get this straight. All right.
Yeah, just step away, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, Deputy.
Okay, so let me understand this. Just so we're on the same page. So,
Yep,
your
I have a small
intent.
correction, by the way. Sorry.
Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to do. So you're intending to buy a Life Evader building, okay, and then you intend on making people pay a membership. Okay, once they pay that membership, um, if they lose their car or they need an insurance claim, you cover that cost.
Correct, Yana.
Okay, so I got it right. So that's what's gonna happen. How much is the membership?
So this is the part that I was trying to get clarification on behalf of my of the clients here, the people who wanted to actually form the businesses. I was in the impression they had talked with the state about this and how it would work. I think that this is pursuant to wanting to request that conversation as long as the business proposal made sense to the court. So simply looking for this is a business that they think could assist the state and be helpful. And I think they're open as to the details of how those transactions would take place.
Okay. Are they available out of curiosity?
I can check. 1 second. I keep getting token warnings. I apologize. Gotta go
It's
feed the
okay.
meter. Give me just a second. I was chatting with them, so they should be. I just don't know if they're in town. If Your Honor would allow me to be so rude as to actually use my phone real quick, I can call them real fast. I can step out of the.
Oh, go ahead, please. I guess.
It looks like Tony could be here in about 5 minutes or so, maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
That's okay. We can wait.
This is Mr. Taps.
How you doing, Mr. Tav? Dr. Phil.
Yes, I was just wondering if Tony would be available to come over here to the courthouse as soon as possible to discuss this business venture with His Honor.
Okay, give me like 5 minutes and I'll get over there.
Very good. We'll see you in
I'll
just a
go
few
there.
minutes. Thank
Alright.
you. Yes, he's on his way. He should be here shortly.
Okay.
Sometimes I do wish I could remove Twitter from my phone.
Don't we all?
When I'm not out patrolling, I wish I could just, stop the alerts.
You can.
And this is how it goes. Assault.
That's enough.
Assault.
My cousin will appreciate that muscle. You have no idea.
Thank
Oh
you.
wow.
Thank you, lifesaver.
I need to. We need to make sure that they include that in the training in the future for deputies. Good night.
I just to remember to turn it back on when I go back out.
Excuse me. This is Mr. Taps.
Hello.
Yes.
Are you around LS by any chance?
Who is this? I'm sorry.
Damon.
Yes, Damon. I'm actually at the courthouse with His Honor now. If you want to come by.
Fantastic. I can. What's the damage looking like?
I think total said and done, I believe you owed 7,000 plus my fees at 2,500. So you're looking at 9,500 total.
Fantastic. I'll come by to drop off the money, and hopefully, if you're available, talk about something I gotta talk to you about.
Very good. We'll see you in a few minutes.
See you in a minute.
Goodbye. I do like that being in this suit, that if I do put my hands up, I look like I got Jai's hands. It's not like I'm giving up. I'm filled with
the color of your suit.
I'm filled with the holy power of the law. It's exhilarating, really.
He's gone.
What's that?
I said
Oh,
he's
his head
gone.
popped. Oh my goodness. Well, This is the way things go, I suppose, from time to time. Oh, he's back.
It's a judge. It's a judge. Hello, judge.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Can I get $20, please, judge? I mean, I've actually heard about situations like this.
What?
Someone asking
What's your
for,
name? You look very familiar. You sound like someone that my cousin has told me about. What's your name?
Syed.
Oh, yes. So you are Syed. Richard speaks very, very highly of you. Said you
Apparently, he also says you also speak very highly of me.
Oh, he says you took his heart the first minute he met you. Excuse me.
Oh.
Yes,
this is
is
Damon
Mr.
again.
Taps.
Sorry, where
yes,
are you
Damon. I'm at the courthouse.
Oh, okay. I
Over
went
there
into
in
the wrong-
Legion. Yes.
All right, I'm on my way.
Very good. So we'll see you.
Yeah, see ya.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that some citizens that don't know where the courthouse is, I mean, so often dealing with things of criminal nature.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
It
And someone's
is.
like, "Where's the courthouse?" Oh, I gotta explain where the courthouse is to you.
Yeah, yes. Pardon me just a moment. I had, well, one second. Oh, do remove your
Hello.
mask if you would be so kind while here. So,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm assuming this is Damon.
Yes.
Okay,
My
good.
face is.
What is wrong with your face? It's like Chungus extraordinaire.
My face is very wrong right now.
It's Chungus extraordinaire. Not being offensive or anything, of course.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
I need to have a mask on for it to feel normal.
All right, I have put your account as paid in full. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic.
I'll come over here so I can actually expunge it.
Ah, Tony, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Do me a favor and remove your glasses here while we're in before the court. I don't think they were prescription, right? As I recall.
No, they're not.
Thank you. So His Honor is simply wanting to talk through some of the ideas and the logistics of the business. I informed him that you are most certainly open to speaking with the state about how transactions would take place and things of that nature. So if you just want to speak to him about the business and the idea openly, certainly we can work some of those things, the finer details out as it pertains to the functions of the city.
Okay.
All right, Miss Sasky, your license. So sorry, your. Did you get your tickets expunged as well?
Yes, Your Honor, he was included in the fines.
All right, and would you like to get a firearms license for $1,000?
Sure. There you go. Oh,
Oh, oh. I'm not sure this desk is protecting me very much, but
I don't think it will. Oh,
sounds terrible.
Anything else I can help you with?
no, I do not think so, unless afterwards. I'd like to, if everything goes well, I'd like to set something in motion.
Okay, what's that?
It could be more
Uh,
cryptic. Do you need to speak to me first, or?
yeah, I need to speak with him first.
Okay. If you'd pardon me, Your Honor, as soon as actually Tony is here, um, give me just a second, Damon. Let me get Tony going before His Honor here in regards to this other proposal.
Okay.
So if you stand back behind the railing, Your Honor, this is Tony. He is the listed and named person as the actual owner operator and of the proposed business. So
Hello, Your Honor.
Oh, just 1 second.
Okay.
So how is your company gonna work necessarily?
What do you mean? You ever been to the?
Oh my God! Holy shit! That's cool.
am I
Oh,
missing something fun?
sorry.
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
talking to me. I was like, what?
on my laptop. I just got a Valorant drop.
Oh shit. Congrats.
The hell is
Alright.
Valorant?
Yeah. I had
Damn.
I had an idea to open up an
What are you,
insurance
a
place in
boomer?
Sandy, just like Life Invader would be in the city, but in Sandy Shores for all the people that live over there and all the people that work on that area. Because like a lot of times when you're working over there, your car just tunnels and there's no way to get them back unless you come all the way back down to the city. And people that have like one car, they have to like run all the way back to the city or have to ask a friend to get them a ride. All the police officers that work in that area as well. And we just wanted to open up an expansion of Life Invader from the city over there. We already spoke to Glory Hole and they gave us the approval on their side. So we're just, waiting for to get the approval from yourself, if possible, to be able to purchase the building. We already have the building location and everything and the funds for it. It's just pretty much that. Like it'll be just like Life Invader, but in Sandy Shores.
Okay.
So it'll be, just an insurance place for, the people that live in that area and the people that work in that area. Not to have to come back all the way to the city. And it'll work just the same as a Life Invader down here. You go in, you speak to the clerk, and you're able to retrieve your car.
Oh, okay. So there's not gonna be somebody working there.
No, no, no. It'll be just like a clerk, just like here, where you go and you talk to them, and they'll give you you make a claim, and you get your car, and there's gonna be a garage right next to it where you can pull it out.
So let me ask you this: then, why another one?
Because there's none around that area. And the distance from there to like the city is pretty far, and there's a lot of people that live in that area, work on that area that have no way to get their cars back.
I would say that certainly the demographics and the size of the city has expanded in such a means that we're seeing more growth to the suburbs and to the north side of the city in relation to the current location of where the existing Life Invader location is, and along with the growth in the market size, that there's now a healthy margin for competitive nature for two of these such businesses to exist peacefully and harmoniously while providing extended services to the folks that have chosen to live their lives predominantly outside of the town or the city proper.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so have you been approved by Glory Holes to get
Yes.
this?
Yeah, they already gave him a $250,000 deposit, just to hold the idea, or the rights to the idea.
Okay.
They loved it. I mean, when I spoke to Kramer, he loved the idea because, like, he's over there a bunch of times and his car just happens to be missing and there's no way to get him back unless you come all the way back down over here.
So just to make sure, you just want another Life Invader in Sandy Shores.
Yeah, like it'll work just the same. I mean, it doesn't need to change the name or nothing. It could be just Life Invader, just a franchise of Life Invader, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it'll benefit the corrections officers and all the folks that live in that area as well. You know. But yeah, as far as glory holes, I already spoke to them and they gave me the go ahead on their part.
Okay. All right. I will bring this up with the other judges. The only concern I have is that we're not necessarily supposed to allow private owners to allow a state-owned business. So um, uh, I'll post this in the chambers for all the judges, and hopefully you receive a response here shortly.
Okay.
That'd be good. And Your Honor, of course, if it's the state's position that they don't want to reuse the state-owned name, I think we are essentially just trying to provide the same or similar service. If it's the name that's a problem, certainly we can look into that.
I don't think you're understanding that you're not going to make any money from this.
And I think that's the particulars that we were trying to work out or negotiate with the state, not knowing the mechanics of the city. If that there was a mechanism in which the claims, the amount that is issued for claims, or the amount that perhaps not the membership, but what opportunities might there be if this is a valued service that these individuals are looking at investing substantial amount of money into purchase and operation of said facility. So we would certainly be interested to hear what ideas the state or the city might have, because as I understand it, from your perspective, then that would be collected by the city proper, just like the regular life invader. And what we're proposing is the investment and operation of this particular facility up north would actually, a portion of those proceeds or revenue collected would go to the owner.
Okay, so give me 1 second.
Thank you, Yana.
No, you're gonna have to repeat that whole sentence. I just got to take care of something really quick.
No, no worries. I too am gonna have to go in my head here in just a minute, so.
Okay, so sorry. Can you repeat what you were saying here?
What I was saying is the idea of trying to work something out with the state, in that uh, as it would operate and function much like the Life Invaders down south, we'd be interested in the city's opinions mechanically, in that these gentlemen are investing, purchasing, and operating said business. What the city would think would be possible from a mechanic standpoint of any kind of reimbursement or portion of the proceeds collected from that location that would be returned to the owners.
Okay, so again, the only question I have is, I presume you want to make a profit out of this, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor. They do.
I mean, from what we spoke with Mr. Kramer, he told us that we could the city keeps a percentage of all the claims that are made, and then we keep another percentage of the claims that are made that stay in the building. We get
Oh,
all.
so you mean the money that people spend on Life Invader goes to the state, and then you're asking to get money from the state?
I wouldn't. Well, from the state or from like whatever money spent on that building on Sandy, not necessarily the Life Invader here in the city.
See, here's the
However,
question that's
mechanically
gonna
that
come
would
in.
work.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the problem is how do we deter how much money you make from that building? Because yeah, sure, it can go into the state if someone gets a car, right? And sure, that's fine. I mean, cool, we'll take the money. But how do we know which money is from the Life Invader?
So then that would be something that could be fixed with as simple as a name change. That Life Invader has a
Well,
different name than the one in the city.
as an understanding, we don't get like notifications once like money goes in like that, from like the only time we'll get a notification if the state deposit is when we personally deposit money.
Yeah, I think that's the mechanic part of the city that I would think someone like Gloria Holes or somebody who is good at developing the city may have an idea that I'm not aware of, and that location has a specific identification, and that the proceeds that come from that location are treated differently than your regular state collected proceeds, if you know what I mean. Collected and distributed.
Because from when we spoke to them, they told us that they could have like a safe in the back where the money that's invested in that area goes into that safe.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
You
Yeah.
know, and then we could, the state keeps a percentage of that money, and then we keep a percentage of the money. So it'll be like a split almost. At the end of the day, like we're not trying to make too much money on this place because like we're mostly doing it for the convenience of having an insurance place in Sandy, which is where a lot of people work, and cars happening to down us a lot in that area. But it will be like we keep a percentage and then the city keeps another percentage. So we'll have a safe in the back
So
where the
50
money
50.
goes. Yeah, that could work.
Oh,
Oh
sorry.
my God, was that not the right
Goodness
answer?
gracious. No, that
How
was
much
the right
money do
answer.
you
I
have ready to
apologize.
pay for?
1.3 million, which is the full cost of the build, including the building. And we have the money to get a bill. We just put 250 as a retainer with Glory Hole to be able to, come and present the case to you. So he told us that we needed to speak to you in order to get the building to be into a business building, and they can reconstruct that building to make it just like the Life Invader. But if it's a problem, we could just change the name and put something else. We just wanted to keep, the same theme. Like it obviously won't be as nice as Life Invader because it's in Sandy. You know, like it won't be a fancy building or anything. The building itself is 370,000, and Glory Holes is going to charge us $1 million to do all the work.
They're charging you $1 million?
Hmm.
Okay.
And as far as them, I mean, they love the idea because they're like, oh yeah, nobody thought of this, and yeah, we do need an insurance place outside the city because it doesn't make sense to have only one place in the whole LS.
So I'm talking to Glory right now, so we can hopefully figure out how this little money system will work and if you actually can take out the money.
Okay.
If you excuse me for a little bit, I will be in my head taking care of something virtually. I'll be right back. And I did it again.
Oh my
Goodness
God.
gracious. I gotta change that. I'm sorry. I'm
He's
gonna
gonna
stand
stand
over
over
here.
here.
I apologize. See, honey, this is what you shouldn't do is punch your clients. I apologize. Okay, I'm back, and I promise not to punch you in the face.
Oh, I'm ready to dodge now.
Thank you for helping us through this, Aunt Yana, and speaking with glory holes and everything. While he's doing that, I'm gonna step over here and talk to Mr. Damon.
All right.
So. Damon, do you have a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just step back here. What's going on, my friend?
Yes, I'd like to actually start up a dispensary in LS.
Oh,
I've
okay.
noticed that the current people who are in dispensary business for cannabis,
I put it down in the
they are not in town. They don't run their business.
Oh, hold on,
and-
just hold on just a second.
Oh, yeah.
It really all depends, if I'm gonna be completely honest. So we'll wait and see, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
So if I heard that
Okay.
right, we're just pending hearing back and seeing how the mechanics will work.
No, I already spoke to Gory.
Okay.
He said basically it worked the same way as any other business. You'd buy it, not buy it. He'd own it, and yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, you'd buy it. You'd have the withdraw cash, all that, and you know.
All right.
So we just gotta wait till the other judges. Like, has to be an approval between all the judges, or?
Other judge, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
Well, feel free to contact me if you guys have any questions, and I can get a hold of my clients. We can go from there. So. Anything else, Yana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys are still here. What the fuck? Okay,
I
how can I
was
help you?
well, no, I had asked if there was anything else that you needed. You said yes. I was like,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there's nothing else. Sorry.
okay.
Scared me. I thought my brain popped. Thought I was looking at people that were just.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you for everything this evening, Yana. We look forward to hearing back
Of
from you on this one.
course. Yes.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, Tony. Well, looks like we've got a good path there, and we'll see where we go next with that. And as soon as I hear anything or you hear anything, just let us know.
All right, brother.
Hey,
Take
Judge,
care.
you got time
Take
for
care,
a
Tony.
small case?
All
Small
right, Damon.
case.
Well, I just need to know some information, possible, maybe expunge something on my.
Okay. There's a lawyer here. You probably want to go through him first, but yeah.
All right, Damon. If you want to go chat, finish your conversation.
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk with you here in just a minute, so just let me finish this one. He was been waiting for a while. Okay, so long story short, you're interested in starting a business and you believe it's going to be viable because the current dispensary in town isn't really operating. Is that correct?
Yes, but the concept of it is the same.
Okay.
Place of
And
the place of the business is different,
mm-hmm.
and
Have
the
we
way
made
it
an
operates is
offer?
going to be different.
Have we approached the current owners to see if they're willing to sell or engage a real
I'm
estate
not
agent at
looking
all?
to I'm not looking to buy their property.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I tell you what. Let me send you, if you would. You've got my email, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is write me a mission statement and a business plan. I can send you some of the things that you would need, but those are essentially some of that information is going to need that I can turn into a full business plan. Would you be the sole owner?
I have another associate with me.
Okay, and so we would need a partnership agreement. And are you guys going to be equal partners?
Yes, and I also have a doctor involved. That's
An investor, maybe a silent partner?
no, a doctor to
Oh,
oversee the operation.
okay. Good. Oh, excellent. And so, if you would supply me with those names, what the split of the business would be? What's that?
We
Your your
um,
your voice box is in bad shape. It's either me or you.
I think we all are in bad shape.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, bro. I see red.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Are you okay?
Can you hear me? Hello? Let's see what happens. My head might be popping. What's going on? Oof, not good. Server crash. Server crash. Having such thrilling conversation.
Wow,
That's a rip.
that is a major rip. We had so many people on that boat. It took us so long to get one person successfully deployed onto the thing. We were doing some Coast Guard stuff out there. We were full on Coast Guarding. Basically, what happened is a group of people took someone hostage on a tugboat, and we were chasing them for probably 30, 40 minutes out in the open seas. 3 hostages, one ended up on the boat with them.
All right, well, I'm going to pause all this fun. Unless there's people out there that have questions or comments or want to know more about me right now, MMO Nightmare, it'd be great. So,
Ended up accidentally drowning a helicopter.
anyway, I'm going to go for now. We'll be back here in just a little bit.
Trying to get people onto the boat.